Welcome to It's a Crime. I'm Linda, and today we're going to talk about Faye Swetlik, a 6-year-old little girl that went missing on Monday, February 10th from a small town called Cayce, South Carolina. This video started out very different, but I found out some news that is absolutely devastating. Today it was reported that little Faye was found deceased. On the day she went missing, which is Monday, February 13th, she got off of her bus at 3:45 p.m. and was last seen playing in her front yard. By 5 p.m., she was reported missing. People describe her as a bubbly and happy little girl. The Swetlik family had made a statement before this new news and said that Faye is a bubbly and happy little girl. She always wanted to play and have fun. She's not the type of kid that will up and walk away. Her mom was very attentive in watching Faye. Faye pays attention to her surroundings. Her grandmother is very distraught about what has happened because they are very close. We just want to find Faye and bring her home. There is video footage of Faye coming off of that bus that day. Her school that she came from is called Springdale Elementary, which is about a 7 to 8 minute drive, according to Google Maps. Now, it's stated that her bus stop is near her home, but the authorities didn't specify as to where. So she's seen getting off at 3:45 p.m. and you can see in the footage she actually gets up out of her seat, walks to the front of the bus, talks to the bus driver, and then exits the bus. Now, there's reports that a neighbor did see Faye's mom come to pick up Faye at the bus stop at 3:45 p.m. that day. And I read reports that said Faye went in, got a snack, and then came out to her front yard. Now, a close family friend also says that she describes Faye as an artistic, bubbly girl who loves the colors pink and purple and enjoys a freeze pop every day after school. And she also said that the family is not holding up well. And again, this was before Faye was found. Now, they live in a complex on Londonderry Lane in Cayce. And it's a housing complex that only has one way out and one way in if you are driving. So the call went in 5 p.m. that day, which is just over an hour and 15 from when Faye got off that bus. And I wonder how long, as I'm sure all of you guys are wondering, just how long it was after she got off that bus that she went missing, when she actually went missing. And I also wonder how many kids get off that bus stop and how many parents come to pick them up, because I know sometimes on pickups, wherever it may be, when you pick up your child from school, sometimes there could be a lot of commotion and a lot of people coming and going. But this was a fairly small town, but still, it might be a lot of commotion. And this happened in broad daylight, right? Like, that's pretty bold. So I wonder if there was a lot of people walking around still at this time, or did everybody go and settle in? Usually people get kids some snacks and, it goes quiet for a bit before they come back out and play. What I keep thinking about is her little classmates in school are looking at an empty seat today and yesterday and Tuesday, and they don't see their little buddy in the seat, and it's hard to have to explain to 6-year-olds and the school and the whole community why she's not going to be in that seat anymore. It's awful. So Cayce is a small town of only around 14,000 people, and it says about 5,500 homes, and that was according to 2017. And it says almost 25% of those homes have children at home under the age of 18 years old. This is a small town. I grew up in a small town. I understand how a lot of people know everybody. Actually, the town that I grew up was very similar in population. And the community where Faye's family lives is called Churchill Heights, which is described as a tight-knit community. And the community was described also as not odd for children to be playing outside. When you go on Google Maps, you can even see that there's children on Google Maps playing on that street. There were 2 vehicles that were in question at the time of Faye's disappearance. It was an SUV and a silver sedan, and they did locate the owner of the SUV, but were still trying to find out information and the owner of that silver sedan. And when I looked at the pictures, you can kind of see, it looks to me like the windows are tinted in that car. Let me know what you think, because to me it looks like those are tinted windows. A lot of people are submitting surveillance from their doorbell cameras in the neighborhood, which is really great, and they just keep saying it keeps coming in. Authorities also canvassed the neighborhood, and I even read they were combing through people's homes, looking in cupboards, looking in basements, looking in freezers, anywhere that a little kid would be or could hide. And it sounded really thorough. I even saw that they were stopping people coming into the neighborhood and going out of the neighborhood, asking for ID, and just being really thorough. Sergeant Antley of Cayce was giving updates since Monday, and he also mentioned that they were expanding the search to a nearby wooded area and also terrain nearby a creek. Authorities have been working around the clock, and even people in the community were staying up all night looking for Faye. So this afternoon was the update, and it was the worst news a parent could ever hear. And of course, Faye is no longer missing, and now Faye's status has been updated to a homicide. In this update, they also mentioned that there was a male found deceased in the Churchill Heights community. They did not elaborate anything further, and they did not take any questions in that update. They did mention that people around the community don't need to worry or panic. Now, I have to bring this up because she was reported missing right away, which is fantastic. But imagine if this was reported as a runaway, like we're seeing in the Gannon-Stauch case. I feel, in my opinion, that this would be a very different set of circumstances. Obviously, they're not going to put her as a runaway because she's 6 years old. But I just beg why they have to put an 11-year-old as a runaway instead of missing person. I just feel like time is so crucial. And you could see how if she was classified as a runaway, how different this would look in the search. Now, if you are in the Churchill Heights community and have security camera footage, and most importantly, if you did see something, or you saw Faye that day, or you saw her with somebody and you thought maybe no big deal at the time, but now it's coming back to you, or something you know is just so small, but it could be so big, please call the dedicated hotline at 803-205-4444. So now the question is, who did this to Faye? My heart goes out to Faye's family, friends, community, and her little playmates. Also to the authorities that have to carry out this investigation and anyone involving this investigation. I know firsthand of many first responders that have to deal with this on a daily basis, and it is the worst thing that one has to deal with, and it's not easy. And also my heart goes out to the news reporters and also YouTubers. It is not an easy thing when you are pouring your heart into these cases and you really just have the best of intentions to put the word out there, and the news comes back and it's not a good one. I'm a mom, and it is an absolute horrific thing to even think about. And now her family has to deal with this and never see Faye for the rest of their lives. So now we wait for the news to roll in as to what the heck happened to this beautiful little girl. That should never have happened, and no child should ever go missing. Be sure to share this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, make sure you click that notification bell because some people aren't getting the notifications, and give it a like for Faye. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.